call on the man who's the reason why we're all here today to share with us the inception and the vision for BayaniPay. Founder and CEO, Winston Damarillo.
My name is Winston Damarillo. I'm the founder of BayaniPay. And it is a great pleasure to host you and to be the first to tell you about what we're doing in BayaniPay. If you go to the next slide, we're going to talk about innovation and technology, but more importantly, we're going to talk about community today. So, my team, led by our product manager, will go through what BayaniPay will do. I will tell you the story of why we built BayaniPay. We built this just over a year ago, and BayaniPay is really a collaboration of so many partnerships that got together very, very quickly to implement a vision. And as a serial entrepreneur, I built a lot of startups in Silicon Valley. This is the one company I'm a bit nervous about because I don't want to disappoint my main customer. So let me introduce that main customer to you. This is me. The first year I arrived in the United States, right? And when I get asked the question, why you moved to America, I would say 98% of the reason why is the cute little chick right next to me, right? She's a nurse I met in the Philippines who left me right after she graduated. So first goal in mind, right, was to make sure that I follow her. And so she's now my wife. We're about to celebrate our 25th wedding anniversary. And the power behind every single startups and ventures that we invested and what we're building going forward. Now, 1% out of that 98% is for the opportunity to do well in the United States. I hear this is the land of opportunities. And as I finished college, that was my first move. I'm gonna go to the States, and a naive young kid that said, I'm only gonna work for Intel or IBM or Microsoft and nobody else. Right, and 50 tries after I got into Intel, fortunately. And then the last 1% of the reason why I came here is that right before I left the Philippines, our family had just lost our business. And my parents put together their last remaining dollars, sent me off to the airport, and said, good luck, right? Make the most out of it. And just like all immigrants, there's always a piece of us that thinks about home. Right? That thinks about why we're doing the work we're doing and why somehow we're able to get the work done. Right? So that story turns out is not very uncommon. Right? You can hear several versions again and again, over and over again, across multiple immigrants here in the United States. But you know what? The United States delivered, right? The American dream lives. And immigrants that started out challenged ended up joining the ranks. So I'm a Filipino. I'm among the 4 million Filipinos in the United States that have started with nothing, 98% inspiration, 2% hard work, but then becomes a really important participant of the American economy, right? So Filipinos, for instance, today are among the highest earning ethnicity in the United States. Immigrants work really hard, right? And not just Filipinos, just a fraction of the $1.8 trillion economy brought by Asian Americans. And so, on my 9th startup, so this is my 9th startup, I built a few. I started my career at Intel Corporation as a venture capitalist. I built my first 3 startups in Silicon Valley. The first one we sold to IBM, the second one we sold to Red Hat, the third one we sold to Intalio. And Talino, who's the venture capital group that I formed behind Bayani, took this one a bit more personal, right? Because we are finally building a technology, a solution, a product for ourselves. And initially we thought we were gonna do this to help immigrants. And as we built this product, we realized it is one of the most underappreciated opportunity there is. Right? Because if you land the immigrants, right, it's the first step to a very interesting opportunity going forward. And as I went back to the United States, driven by the pandemic, we took everything we learned in Southeast Asia and the Middle East about inclusive fintech, about creating financial technologies for the poor, and more what we call the emerging middle class. And as we bring that back here in the United States, I didn't realize this is still a problem here. And more importantly, it's a great opportunity here. So it turns out, to be in this business, you really only need 4 things, right? And that's what we're building at BayaniPay. So if you look at the next slide, the first thing that we tackled was cross-border payments, right? Most immigrants, especially in the first few years in the country, send money home. And I was astonished when I got back here in June of 2020, connecting with my friends at the World Economic Forum and IFC, that remittance still costs 7% friction. Means that 7% of every money we earn as immigrants in the United States or around the world is spent on the process of sending it home. It's still extremely inefficient. So we wanted to tackle that first. And I'm happy to announce BayaniPay has proven to reduce 30% of the friction cost to send money home. In 1 year, in our first year of existence. And we beat Remitly, we beat Western Union, we beat MoneyGram, yeah, and we're going to compete with TransferWise. But through partnerships, through amazing innovation, and through dramatic simplification of the process of sending money home, right? Removing all the middlemen, the people that take the money in the counter, the people that then put it and deposit it in the bank, the foreign exchange that's inefficient, and then the process of dispersing. By simplifying that through collaboration of 2 very large banks, Banco de Oro and East West Bank, we can reduce 30% of the friction cost of sending money home. So we're really proud about that. We started this in September, now we're acquiring about 1,000 new customers a month. The second thing that we thought was really important for immigrants is that make your money go stretch it as much as possible, make the most out of it. And that process of transferring money from one bank to the other can be repeated one more time. Right? So in the United States, if you are a merchant, every time you take digital payment, meaning Visa or MasterCard, you pay 4% or as much as 4% in fees, right? And this is what we're beginning to call the digital tax or digital cash tax, right? You shouldn't have, right? And again, through the partnership that we're going to unveil a little bit more with East West Bank, we will introduce a product called Direct Pay, connecting the wallet that is based in East West Bank account to the merchants like Seafood City, so that the money saved by our merchants is passed on to our consumers. And we're looking forward to doing that. In Southeast Asia, this is prevalent. In the Philippines, we call it GCash and PayMaya, right? It works in emerging countries. And there's no reason why it wouldn't work here in the United States, right? We just need to learn to squeeze the most out of what we can make. We're greatly honored that when we met in August, we had an opportunity to partner with East West Bank. I think coming out of that, in record time, we were able to sign a partnership. I think we struck that the day before Christmas. Right? I think that was a Christmas gift from East West Bank to us. And then engineers got to work. A lot of them are here today. Rakesh is the leader of the team. Ling Ling is here. She's the one that worries about making sure they all work and all of that. And then my team, led by Mark Colantawa and Ernest, they're here as well, and Dexter. Everybody really got to work. And what we're able to deliver is the combination of simplifying remittance and allowing immigrant Americans to open bank accounts that will take their money a long way. So in addition to Direct Pay, we are now offering a debit card. And it's not just an ordinary debit card. It will be a debit card that is easy to acquire, with amazing design and a lot of perks. Right? We wanted to give first-class perks to debit cards that people sometimes can only get with Visa, Platinum, MasterCard, at the highest level. So we want to bring that down we want to level the playing field of people getting perks by using the debit cards. And then finally, one of the questions we asked our fellow kababayans, the Filipinos, and other immigrants that send money home, why sometimes they use credit card to remit money home. And inevitably, just like my early days, we have emergency requirements, right? And using credit cards puts me in a situation where we have to spend 20-30% interest rate just to get emergency money home. So along with that, we should be offering an emergency credit line for BayaniPay. We were initially calling it Remit Now, Pay Later. And this is kind of the host of services that we really are excited to share with you. And we're going to demonstrate these products in a bit. So technology was really just one aspect of what we were building, right? The solution that we envision for Asian Americans really cannot be done if it's not built using a community, right? So starting with the idea, then the partnership with East West Bank, we kind of put together a more rounded partnership that includes the largest Asian American bank here in the United States, East West Bank, the largest Filipino unibank in the Philippines, Banco de Oro, the most widely distributed and largest Asian American magazine and media company in the Asian country. And finally, where all Filipinos spend all their money, Seafood City. And through this alliance, we wanted to deliver not just banking, right, but really a new way to spend your money and make the most of it in the easiest possible way. So it's been a really great journey in such a short time. It's only been a year. And we're really, truly blessed that we have amazing people at BayaniPay. We have amazing partners at BayaniPay. And we have an amazing board at BayaniPay. And one person that personified this alliance, a single thread that made this lineup of rock stars come to work together is somebody I've just recently met, but I felt like I know him for such a long time. He has an even more interesting immigrant migration story than I am. So hopefully somebody, a little bit later, you pick it up and have a conversation with Philip. But I would like to introduce to you the Vice Chair of BayaniPay Board, and my mentor and my friend, Philip Tong.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to share with you what we think of our CEO at the company, at the board. He is truly the guru of the disruptive innovation. He's an amazing thinker and clearly incredible software architect. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm applause to Winston Damarillo. Thank you. I wanted to restate some of the comments that Winston made earlier. Our mission is to use technology to break down the borders in banking, level the playing field for all global citizens. BayaniPay is a financial technology fintech company, not a bank. In order to offer banking products and services, we need to form a strong strategic partnership with a local bank. As we are based in Los Angeles, it makes good sense to form a partnership with the largest publicly traded bank headquartered in Southern California. Particularly, the bank with similar mission, vision, and value. And furthermore, it has the significant cross-border capabilities to serve our customers in the US and Asia, and has developed robust digital banking capability to support our needs. So we're so happy, ladies and gentlemen, as Winston shared with you, we have announced that we have a right partnership. We're pleased to announce that we have contracted with East West Bank, a $61 billion in assets bank, and as our strategic partner. Truly, it is exciting that East West Bank and us will launch the first ever Filipino-American neobank today. In addition to East West Bank, we are partnered with industry leaders, including BDO Unibank, the Philippines' largest bank, and Seafood City Supermarket, a Filipino-oriented supermarket which is owned by the Filipino family, the largest Filipino supermarket chain in America and Canada. These partnerships has enabled us to meet Filipino-American consumers where they are and help them tend to their needs both in the US and in the Philippines. Particularly, the partnership with Seafood City Supermarket and BDO Unibank is critical for money remittance services. The business must have two integral parts. One is acquiring customers, two, distribution of the remittance in the Philippines. Seafood City Supermarket plays a significant role in acquiring customers. Today, their average customer counts is 1 million per week. I repeat, 1 million customer counts per week in their stores. So acquiring customers is clearly the best and most ideal location for BayaniPay. Equally, BDO Unibank plays also a significant role. Presently, half of $36 billion foreign remittance to the Philippines is distributed by BDO. I am very excited to have you here today to join us for this special occasion. Next, ladies and gentlemen, please join me. It's my great pleasure to introduce to you our partner, Parker Shi, EVP and COO of East West Bank. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So I was very moved by Winston's story. Rakesh, our Chief Digital Officer for East West Bank, and I were having lunch together. And we were talking about the first days when we came over. He from India, I from China, 20, 30 years ago, as international students landed in United States. I remembered that I flew over from China, landed in Chicago, and went to college in Chicago. The bank I'm with today was the one that I was with in college, because that was the only bank that actually had a booth in college, and I banked with them. It was called National Bank of Detroit, which I'm pretty sure no one can even find that anymore. So 30-some years later, I'm still with the same bank, but they have been bought by someone else, who have been bought by someone else, who have been bought by someone else, who have been bought by someone else. So the reason I mention that is this. So I've been with this bank for 30-some years. They have never sent me a single birthday wish. Never. They probably couldn't care less about me because I'm just one of the probably 30 million customers that they have. For them, I'm just one of the customers. I have my deposit with them, and that's it, right? So anyway, I started my career in banking about 1998. And I built a bank called the Internet Bank back then. It was not called a new bank, it was called the Internet Bank back then. And 20-some years later, I realized that, oh my God, on one hand I know banking, on the other hand I don't really know banking. And I want to find a place where I can actually make a contribution, not only to the bank, but more importantly to the society. And I looked around and I found East West Bank. I never realized that there is an East West Bank who actually solely focus on Asian Americans, who want to focus on both the Asian Americans in the United States, but also the ones in Asia Pacific. So I was very fortunate to have the opportunity and joined East West Bank last year. And one of the first client meetings I went to was actually with Philip and with Winston. We were sitting over there listening to the ambition that Winston and Philip had. We were also talking about how do we serve those customers, because in the end, the banking is about serving customers. And when East West was founded about 49 years ago, we were looking at how do we help underserved community with low cost, high quality services. And we've been doing this for 49 years. In the past, we rely on branch network to attract customers, to service customers. But now, as Winston mentioned, as Philip mentioned, now we have technology. So we don't have to purely rely on people coming to the branches to get services. We can actually do this remotely. We can do this using mobile apps. We can do this with online banking. So on behalf of East West Bank, I'm very excited to have the partnership with BayaniPay to not only serve the customers using the technology, but more importantly, we call that omni-channel banking as a service, where every single BayaniPay customer can just walk into East West Bank branch and get exactly the same level of services that any customer would get. So this is not just about providing the technology to serve the BayaniPay customers. It's more importantly, it's about all the things that East West has. The call centers, the branches, the financial advisors. We will provide everything we can to make sure that our customers are served well. In addition, as I mentioned earlier, we are looking at not only doing the business here in the United States, but we also want to serve the Philippines in Philippines. We want to be able to help them both from the personal banking perspective, but also potentially from the commercial banking perspective, looking at the companies, looking at the enterprises, really be the bridge between Philippines and the United States. And we look forward to continue to work with BayaniPay, work with BDO, to build this partnership to serve our customers really, really well. So thank you so much for the opportunity to have the partnership. And without much ado, I think everyone is much more interested to see that what's a real app, right? So Mark.
Coming up is Mr. Mark Colentava, Product Director for BayaniPay.
Okay. Hello. Thank you so much, Parker. We have a really, really good partnership indeed. And we're very much excited to show you our app today. As you have heard on the first part of our program today, there are great stories of how the BayaniPay journey started. And it's all founded on a few things. One is we believe that global migrant professionals deserves better, right? Okay, yeah, so that's good. So we at BayaniPay, we want to offer different products and services that will actually open opportunities. That's really what we wanted to do. And we want to do that through inclusive financial technology. So right now, starting today, we will open our new app and we will open a new experience to thousands of existing customers of BayaniPay. So starting today, our existing customers and the next set of customers will have an entirely new experience and will also experience an entirely new set of products that is powered by a bank. Thank you so much for that partnership. Also, as we have all experienced, there are thousands of migrant professionals all across the US is experiencing some challenges in opening their first bank account, or even opening a succeeding bank account for their personal use, for their family, or for their work. What we want to do at BayaniPay is we want to improve that. We want to provide a better experience. And let me show you how that's done. That is being done through opening of the digital checking account using BayaniPay. Just click on that open a bank account button. Click apply, very simple. There you go. Provide basic KYC information, that's very, very simple. Very easy. Just fill up that form. There you have it. Okay, and then we pre-fill the address of our existing customers so they don't have to type it again. Very simple, we pre-fill it for them. They click next. Since we're opening a digital bank account for our customers, we'll ask for a few more information such as their citizenship and their SSN. Click next. And we want to improve the security as well. So we offer an eKYC and digital biometric with this app. So the customer just needs to upload their ID. Very simple. There you go. In the back. All right, everything is done online. No need to visit the branch, no need to fill up a paper form. It's all done digitally. Selfie, we all love that. And in a matter of seconds, or sometimes a minute, we do an eKYC, cross-check it across different records and make it available for our customers. Just like opening a bank account, of course, we need to review the terms and conditions and agree to it. But we don't need a paper form. We don't need to visit a bank. Just check, check, check. Click agree. And there you go. In a matter of minutes, we now have a digital checking account open for all our customers. And that is the type of experience that we wanted to offer to all our customers. We want a better experience for them. As mentioned, this is a digital checking account. And it comes with zero maintaining balance, no upfront cost, no monthly cost. That is really accessible and inclusive to our customers. Now, once our customers has their bank account there, the next thing is for them to add funds, right? Okay, so the next step is that there's a lot of opportunities for our customers to add funds to their existing bank account. We have a built-in feature, we call it like an add funds feature that allows our customers to transfer funds from any of their US bank accounts to their Easy Digital Checking account. It's more of a diversification and a better tool for them to manage their funds and savings. That's really what we want. And also, since this is a digital bank account, they can now accept payments from their customers or from their employers, transferred to their digital checking account through either an ACH or a wire transfer. Lastly, there's also an option to do Zelle. So we can activate Zelle for our customers. That's something that we can help them with. So once activated, let me show you that. Once activated, the customer can now access their Zelle account and start transferring funds. That's also something that their friends can do for them. So they just need to access their other bank account, perform a transfer, make sure it's the right amount, confirm it. There you go. And then once it's confirmed, just click on send it now. Yep. Once sent, in a matter of seconds, the balance, once cleared, will be available on the customer's account. Let's view the balance. Okay, I have a lot. All right, so that is how you add funds to your bank account. But that's just the beginning, right? So we want to give our customers, of course, the opportunity to also manage their finances. So together with their Easy Digital Checking account, that comes free with a Visa debit card that they can use to spend in the US or use over the ATM, of course, in the US and overseas. This is one of the example. It's really big. Yeah, so that's a free digital, a debit card together with their Easy Digital checking account. Lastly, is that something that our team is really proud of. There's one feature that made possible through our another unique partnership with BDO Remit USA. And that is our ability to send money to the families back home, right? So it's about managing our finances here, making sure that we have the right financial tool, but also we want to factor in that we also want to support our families back home. So with our feature here at BayaniPay, it allows our customers to send money. So you can see here, they can just fill up the form, all done digitally. Fill up that. There you go. This is really a remittance. Can be done. Few set of information for the recipient. They can use their easy digital checking account to send money back home. And once confirmed, we will run it through our comprehensive system to see for fraud and then to make sure that we're compliant with both US and the Philippines. Once confirmed, that will be sent out to different locations. The send money feature of BayaniPay has no transaction fee, so it's absolutely free. And it comes with, we're very proud of it, a competitive exchange rate. So that's really fun. So it's free. It's a market-leading exchange rate that comes with it, and then you can do it directly from the app. So you can manage your finances here in the US, then you can also send money back home. So those are some of the amazing features that we have through BayaniPay. Again, you have your checking account that's zero maintaining, zero upfront cost, no monthly fee. You can perform remittance, zero transaction fee with market-leading exchange rate. And that is what BayaniPay wants to offer to everyone. And that's just the beginning. So this is just the start. And we will not stop from here. To talk more about how we want to expand it. So what's next with BayaniPay? How we want to expand it from here. I want to welcome back to the stage Winston to talk more about what's next for BayaniPay. Round of applause for Winston.
Right. Yes. Okay, I get to talk about wait, there's more.
Okay.
Right.
I'd like to add one comment what Mark forgot to add. Besides the zero fees and charges for transmissions, for remittance, a bank account, zero minimum, no fees, no charge. Equally important, the distribution of fund. You get fund instantly credited, transferred to recipient overseas. Instant credit. That's one of the value of BayaniPay.
All right. You see, we've now turned everyone in the company to doing sales. So that's just fantastic. So, but wait, there's more front. We continue to innovate BayaniPay. I think one of the key differentiators, we get asked this a lot when talking to press, right? So you're yet another neobank. Why are you different? Right? And I would start with this. The reason why we're different is our partner bank is not typical to the partner bank of most fintechs. They don't look at us as a wholesale fintech company. Our partner bank, East West Bank, has the same ambition and goals and intention for our customers. So we get the opportunity to innovate together. So we're building our products together. And we're discovering that as we do that, we discover more things we can do for our customers. In fact, not only with our partner bank at East West, we've also really stretched our imagination and what we can innovate to further provide value to our immigrant American target customers. So this next feature, I'm super proud to unveil, or at least give you a preview. We co-designed this as well with our merchant partners, specifically Seafood City. So what's next and what's coming up is what we call direct pay. I mentioned before that as we start through the pandemic, we started to use less and less cash. We've gotten more reliant on digital payments. And I was so surprised to find out that if you pay using credit card, some merchants, especially smaller ones, it costs them 3.5% to 4% of fees to Visa and MasterCard. But we were thinking, we already have a BayaniPay wallet, right? And our partner merchants can easily get an East West Bank account. Why don't we take this innovation down one more step? So this is what we come up with, direct pay. And what's funny is it's not even original. We copied this from the Philippines. It's very similar to GCash or PayMaya, right? In the Philippines, since nobody has credit cards, they put their money on their wallets and then they pay using the wallet. But what's really good about that is there's no cost. Right? You just pay using your wallet. So what we're doing with direct pay, borrowing from that idea and partnering with Seafood City, is to build a solution where you take your BayaniPay wallet, which you already have, that you can acquire in less than 5 minutes, and go to a grocery store like Seafood City, present what's in your wallet in a secure QR code to the cash register, and the cash register can simply recognize that QR code and do a regular transfer of funds from one bank account to another bank account. So with that, we can see a lot of savings in terms of not having to pay Visa, MasterCard fees, and therefore we can pass that savings to our customer. So we're really excited about that, because this gets BayaniPay on the daily lives of all our customers. Every time you go to groceries, you'll now also save money. So we're really looking for that. Thank you, Seafood City and East West Bank, for helping us conceive this, and we're looking forward to bring this to market on our next announcement. All right. So I think you've seen the product. I hope you all download BayaniPay. Some of you might get free groceries. Do we still have that offer? Yes, and we will share that shortly. So with that, let me turn this back to Nina. Thank you.
Included the Philippine Consulate General in Toronto from 2003 to 2007, and the Philippine Embassy in Bangkok, Thailand from 2009 to 2015. Consul General Badajos is a graduate of the University of the Philippines College of Law. He also holds a Bachelor of Arts from the University of the Philippines in Baguio. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome Consul General Badajos.
Thank you very much. Salamat muna for that. It was hoping that you do away with the introduction, because I think most of you know me already. I've been here for almost a year. But anyway, thank you for inviting me to the press launch of BayaniPay. At the outset, let me convey sincerest congratulations and thanks to Winston and your team for bringing BayaniPay to the money remittance market. I'm very excited, as many of you are, with the arrival of BayaniPay. And my excitement springs from the fact that, like many of you here, I'm an incurable remitter of money to the Philippines to support my family. So I would always be on the lookout for the best possible way to remit money to the Philippines to get more value for every dollar that I remit to the country. So when I heard about BayaniPay, first from Roger, then from Winston over dinner somewhere in the Arts District here in LA, I was so excited to get to know more about this money remittance facility, how it is going to be different from Remitly, for example, which I was using up to the first quarter of this year. And so I said, I'd like to test this BayaniPay. So I did. And I've already been remitting dollars to the Philippines using BayaniPay since then. Yes, BayaniPay did not disappoint. First, its name, BayaniPay. BayaniPay is a play on the words Bayani and Pay. Bayani, as mentioned by Nina here, is Filipino word for hero. Pay, of course you pay. So why are we saying BayaniPay? I think the decision to use BayaniPay is not accidental. I think it was intentional, and it is to pay tribute to the millions of Filipinos overseas who are making a lot of sacrifices to send money back to the Philippines to support their families. And when we remit money to the Philippines, we're not actually just supporting our families, we're also helping the Philippine economy. Thank you very much. As we all know, money remittances now stands at about 9% of total GDP of the Philippines. That translates to about $34 billion US dollars. You could imagine. With this new innovation brought in by BayaniPay, meaning removing the transaction fee for every remittance that you make to the Philippines, you're making available more money to overseas Filipino families back home. And more money that's going to be available also to the Philippine government for vital economic development projects. And I've also been told that BayaniPay has partnered with major industry players like BDO, Seafood Market, and yes, Winston was correct. Where else do we spend most of our money than in food? If you're Filipino. We eat 5 times a day. We go to seafood market. And when you go to seafood market nowadays, you see BayaniPay. So it's a perfect partnership between BayaniPay and seafood market. So given all these benefits, mga kababayan, BayaniPay is probably one of the best things to happen in our lives as overseas Filipinos. It is. It is beneficial, as I said, not only to the overseas Filipino families, but also to the Philippine economy. But for all these reasons, the arrival of BayaniPay is such a wonderful thing. But what makes even more remarkable is that it was developed by Filipinos for overseas Filipinos who number close to about 10 million worldwide. And 4 million of them are here in the United States. So with this very exciting development, I'm very happy for our fellow Filipinos here in the US. To my fellow incurable dollar remitters, let's applaud Winston and his team for bringing this new product in our midst. Maraming salamat. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.